Welcome to Aruba, one happy island, just leaving the cruise port now. There's a marked sidewalk, it says to town, so you just keep following that, follow the arrows. They recently redid this port area, so you used to exit the port actually behind me, but now they have this little kind of roundabout to take you over here, and then you exit out through a new straw market that they built. So if you're looking for some souvenirs, there used to be booths there. Now those booths I found are usually closed, because then you'll come to this area just outside of the port. So that's going to be your closest place to buy souvenirs right after you exit the port and cross the street. If you're on a tour through your ship in Aruba, it's going to meet right outside the terminal building. A couple of the piers have a terminal. Right now, actually, only one does. The other one's under construction. Then at the other one, they've got some tents set up. So just keep going. If you're at the one with the terminal, you actually have to pass through the building before you see the tours meeting. So out there in the parking lot, the main drive of the port, you'll see all the tour buses. That's where your tour is going to meet. There's also taxi stands at each one of the piers. They have fixed rates for a lot of the popular destinations here on the island. So those are set fares, fixed rates. If you wanted to organize like a taxi tour with a driver, those are typically $50 an hour. So depending on where you want to go, how long you want to be there, $50 an hour, you just work it out with your driver to make that happen. But again, taxi dispatches each one of the cruise ship piers. There's 3 main places where ships can dock, all right here in a row in Oranjestad. So I'm just off the ship here in Aruba. You can see that craft market behind me that I mentioned. I want to show you how to take the public bus in Aruba. Aruba's got a great public bus system, so if you're here all day, if you have a lot of time in port, really easy to take the bus around the island. The L10 bus, L10 bus, takes you to a lot of the popular beaches like Eagle Beach, like Palm Beach, even all the way up to Arashi Beach. That's on the northern tip of the island. That's where you'll find some good snorkeling all the way up there. So the L10 bus. Now this street, this is L.G. Smith Boulevard. This is probably the main street in downtown Oranjestad. So I'm just waiting to cross the street to show you where the bus stop is. Very busy street, very noisy street. Lots of shopping options here, lots of dining options here. Let's see if we can safely cross. There we go. So once you cross the streets, one thing to look for is the I Love Aruba store. So it's across from that where the bus depot is. So when you see that I Heart Aruba, you know you're getting close. It's noisy out here. And you're looking for an archway like this. So this is an archway built right into the building. Back through here, that is the bus depot. So here at the bus terminal in Oranjestad, you'll notice they've got a ticket window right there in the wall. You can also pay cash on the bus if this window is not open. Sometimes I've found it open, sometimes not. So you can pay cash on the bus. One fare one way in US dollars is $2.60. There's a bus leaving right now, right there. That's actually the L10 bus. That's one of the buses that goes to a lot of the beaches. So if you are looking to head to the beach, look for one that says L10 on it to get there. So like I said, a one-way fare, $2.60 US. You can pay on the bus if you would like to do so. Or if the ticket window is open, you can also get a round trip pass. So this round trip pass is $5, so it'll get me there and back. Or you can buy a day pass for only $10. So if you have a long time in port, want to explore more of the island, you can do that day pass to go try out different lines as well. So if you're paying on the bus, make sure you've got cash with you. You can pay there. US dollars, fine. They might give you change back in the local currency, so just be prepared for that. So make sure you've got some small bills, take some singles with you, or take along a $5 bill. I mentioned the local currency, and you actually might want to get change back in the local currency because it does make a nice souvenir. This is one of the most popular souvenirs. This is the 50-cent piece here in Aruba, and it's a square coin. Oh, that was upside down for you. There you go. That's the Aruba 50-cent piece, this nice square coin. You can actually, have seen this, you can buy it in shops, but I think I got my first one as change on the bus, so I paid probably $3 US, and then they gave me this 50-cent piece back. This one was actually gifted to me by a guest, a young boy named Max, who I sailed with my first cruise of this contract. So thanks, Max. I still carry it with me, but look for that square coin 50-cent piece when you are in Aruba. If you're just exploring downtown, make sure you take a look for the Aruba Trolley. They have a few different ones. One's just the single layer, one's a 2-layer where the top deck is open air. Runs about a mile loop through the downtown area. It's a pretty small loop, but still a great way to see some of the downtown. Plus it's hop on, hop off. The best part is it's free. It picks up right there at that craft market that's just outside the port. So you can look for that trolley, hop on it, ride it as much as you want. Also a great way to just get an overview of the downtown. Do a loop and then head back to wherever you want to see. But that trolley is free. A lot of people miss it or don't know to look for it. You'll see the tracks as soon as you exit the port. So just hang out there by the tracks, by that little craft market. When the trolley comes back around, you can hop on it to go explore Oranjestad. So I've just walked down L.G. Smith Boulevard. That's kind of the main street here in Oranjestad, Aruba. So you got the cruise ship near one end, and then down here at kind of the other end of the main downtown area is Wilhelmina Park. So it's the statue of Queen Wilhelmina behind me, a Dutch monarch. At one time she was the richest woman in the world. She was the first female billionaire. Obviously Aruba was at one time part of the Dutch Caribbean, so still a lot of Dutch influence here. So they've got this Queen Wilhelmina Park. This is also a great place to come if you're looking for iguanas. If you're hoping to see iguanas, a little wildlife spotting. I've never been in this park and didn't see an iguana, so make sure that you come here if you're looking for iguanas. Let's see if we can find any. Got one already. There's one right over here. Might be hard to see. Oh, it's running away. It's running into the bushes. I don't want to chase it, don't want to scare it. It can be hard to spot because they're green, on green grass. Yeah, that's just a young one, a little one there, running along the flowers. There's also some of the big ones, the darker ones, the older ones. I saw one over by the water. Here's another young one over here by the sidewalk. Oh, there's actually 3 around this tree, all pretty small ones. Yeah. There's a tiny, tiny one at the base of the tree. So in about 2 minutes here in the park, I've already seen 6 iguanas. So like I said, a good place to come if you want to see iguanas. They're always here. They love Queen Wilhelmina as well, always hanging out in the park. This is Fort Zoutman. It's just about a block and a half away from Wilhelmina Park. So if you're interested in the history of Aruba, this is a great place to check out. This is one of the oldest buildings on the island. You can see there's a clock tower. This was actually added later than the rest of the fort. There's this clock tower, and at one time it was also used as a lighthouse. I believe it's called the Wilhelm Tower. So sometimes you can go in and they have a museum that you can explore. Sometimes you can even go to the top of the clock tower. I have found this attraction to be a bit hit and miss. Their hours aren't clear. Sometimes they're closed all the time. Sometimes they're open with regular hours and you can go in and explore. So worth a walk over here even just to see it, because it is some really interesting architecture and, like I said, a very historic building. And if you're fortunate enough, maybe you can even go in and explore. Just wandering around town in Oranjestad, and I came across an aloe plant. At one point, I think it was 2/3 of this island was covered in aloe. It was the most important export for Aruba. It's also said to be some of the most potent aloe vera that's made on this island. So you'll find a lot of aloe products for sale. There is an aloe factory and museum that you can tour. I believe it's free. The tours are free. The museum is free. About a 10-minute taxi ride from the port. I've actually never checked that out, but you do see a lot of aloe products. So when I came across this aloe plant, I want to let you know to keep an eye out for aloe items when you're in Aruba. This is the National Archaeological Museum of Aruba. This is actually a free museum. They do have a suggested donation of $5 US per person, so there's a donation box right inside, but it is a free museum to just come explore a bit of the history of Aruba, including the original inhabitants of the island, all the way up to today. So this is a couple blocks off of the main street there, that L.G. Smith Boulevard, a couple blocks back into town, but that free Aruba trolley does pass right by here, so you could get really close to the Archaeological Museum if you're interested in history or archaeology or just want to know more about Aruba. So if you don't want to explore downtown Oranjestad when you're in Aruba, what else is there to do? Well, I already mentioned the beaches. You can head up the coast to the beaches. Eagle Beach, Palm Beach are some of the most popular. If you're looking to snorkel, head all the way to the northern tip up to Arashi Beach. It's a good spot for snorkeling. And then there's all kinds of different tours that you can do as well. Up there on the northern end, actually about a 20-minute walk from Marashi Beach, there's the California Lighthouse. Plus there are some natural wonders that you can explore in Aruba. The widely known natural bridge fell down now about 20 years ago, but there's a new bridge called the Baby Bridge that's forming right next to it, so you could tour the Baby Bridge. Plus there are rock formations that you can tour. Some have petroglyphs from the native people here in Aruba, the first inhabitants. There's all kinds of things that you can do. I mentioned the aloe factory tour before. In Palm Beach, they have a butterfly garden. They have a semi-submersible submarine that you can explore. I've seen people parasailing off the back of boats. So really a lot to see, a lot to do. Super easy beach day where you can take that bus. So it's just a great island to get out and explore. Plus the downtown is so beautiful where you've got the museum downtown. So lots for you to choose from during your day in Aruba. Thanks for watching this port guide to Aruba. If you learned something new, tell me about it in the comments. Tell me what you plan to do during your day in Aruba, and make sure you check out my other port videos.